Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. A viral video has sparked outrage online after Ebonyi lawmakers Honorable Chinedu Oga was seen empowering his constituents with just 500 naira to start business. Supporters argue that at least he showed up and gave something in the tough economy, a gesture that they say many politicians don't bother with. But critics say that the move is both insulting and embarrassing, calling it a mockery of true empowerment and a sign of how low political accountability has sunk. That the big question now is 500 naira empowerment or pure humiliation. What do you make of the beneficiaries that were queuing up to collect 500 naira from their representative in the government? What are your thoughts on this viral video? We'd like you to share your thoughts. Join us on the conversation by calling us on 020-1635-2013 or 090-2416-3440. You could also tweet to us on x.com, #YourViewTVC, so we can hear from you. We're streaming on YouTube as well, so we can also read comments from there. Now, let me not even preempt the conversation. Let me hear from the ladies. Do you see it as empowerment or humiliation?
It's an admission of failure on the part of the politicians. That's the way I see it. You know, so whenever we call out the hardship, people either discuss whether it's hard enough, it's not that bad, or we're tightening our belt, we'll get there. But when a politician comes out in such an undignified way to undignify his citizens and give them this ridiculous, humiliating amount, is an admission of that hardship everybody has been talking about from him. That's the way I see it, you know. And I'm going to compare him without reservation to other politicians, his mates. We saw the videos of Senator Ogun West, Yayi. I was at the Senator Adebule, Lagos West. Give back to her constituents.
Those are senators, this is House of Rep.
The same thing. You know, other House of Reps, we saw Yayi's pictures, anybody can Google it. So to the extent that somebody covered it, what's her name, Adiola, this influencer, she covered it and talked about how impactful it was. Because when you don't ridicule your constituents, you make extra effort at what you want to give them. You give them tax, credit. You give them, facilities that will help them do their business, skills that will help them grow, things like that. But when we see this give back that are usually wheelbarrow in nature, bed in nature, it worries me.
Tokenization.
Token it, and you could not even talk. I was critical of I saw the one Kano State Governor did for his people. He said he shared about 250 million amongst his people, and each person was going to get 5,000 naira each. They allowed them.
And you still yabbed it.
I yabbed it.
And now you're not seeing another level.
5,000 would, but this level,
it's low below low.
As in, he shut up my mouth, But I look at it, I said, well, this man is admitting the hardship. He himself cannot afford something that will empower his people. Because now 500 naira cannot take you to collect the money and back home. You know. He cannot even give you a full meal a day. Even if he gives you apple, he will not give you soup. He can buy you apple, but there will be no soup.
I honestly think that my time will be better spent and better utilized more constructively if we talk about some of the most pressing issues that beguile the people of Ebonyi State. I will go into the sentiments of this abysmal conduct later. So right now we know that there are very high rates of poverty and multidimensional deprivation in the state. There is lack of access to health. There is lack of access to sanitation and clean water. We have a high rate of youth unemployment and underemployment. Many young people lack meaningful jobs or pathways to entrepreneurship in Ebonyi State. The economy still relies on agriculture and raw material production, but there's no value addition, no modernization or linkages to markets. And then there was a 2025 study that was done in Ebonyi that disclosed that local government areas in Ebonyi there is no availability of medical equipment in primary health facilities. It falls way below acceptable levels. So some local government areas had only 30% of needed equipment and human resources for health are extremely low, as little as 6% in some areas. I can go on and on. Potable water is still a big problem. Rural electrification is still a big problem in certain state, local government areas in Ebonyi State. So I do not understand. These are the things that we are supposed to be tackling. And then you think that it's okay to deprive people of basic human dignity. And I would also say that, see, if you do not realize, people need to realize you were made in God's image and likeness. I think that's the greatest privilege that any human could have ever been bestowed with. The fact that you and I were made in God's image and likeness. And so if any human tries to dehumanize you, sometimes it's really up to you to say, no, I will not stand for this. I deserve better. I would rather, there's something called a sense of pride. I would rather eat sand. I would rather struggle through my teeth.
I have pride.
Than to condescend, stoop so low, to have myself to become a pawn used in whatever game this is. I deserve better. I understand that poverty is seething. It is palpable. It is real. But you see, sometimes it is up to you as a human to say, no, this is where I draw the line. In that video, you can see young men who are capable of work, who can enjoy
hours.
You can see there's a little boy who should be in school who was by his mother. So the Mr. Oga gave the mom 500 and gave the boy. It is the most heartbreaking video I have seen in recent times. And the fact that the camera was played, I don't understand what purposes were supposed to serve. If not to dehumanize and make, like, people are already struggling, people contend with so much, and you do this.
Lower than me.
So, first of all, what I'm just going to say here is that, why people will go, they'll be like, let me go and collect my own parts. No matter how small it is, let me just go and collect. It's free after all. So that's the reason why you see people who will go and queue up just to collect the money. It's not like it's going to solve anything. But my problem here is this kind of people is because there's nobody to hold them accountable. If there's someone to hold them accountable and like, okay, this is the amount of money that has been, given to your constituency and you are not using it to do what you are supposed to do. By now, all of this, because I don't know the thought process, how do you sit down and think of something like this and say and think that money is enough to empower anybody? 500 naira. What will 500 naira do? It, as far as I'm concerned, just like what they wrote here, is an insult. It will not solve any problem. And then you now allow your people to come and line up under the sun. That kind of person should have been even taken out. Like, what I mean by taking out is they should remove him from that position. Because obviously he does not have the solution to their problems. So why is he there? We know, we Nigerians, we have power. We have the power to remove anybody that is not serving us. There was a time from one local government I saw them, they wrote a petition. They said they don't want this guy to be their their rep. You should not represent them. They wrote a letter and everything. They sent it to all the rights, and they handled it somehow. But they did not take him out of the office, but he became more responsible. So the thing is, we need to hold some people accountable. Because this same person that did this must have had a manifesto. He must have gone to that constituent and he must have told them, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Then for him to come out now and start giving them 500 naira, they are supposed to collect that 500 and stone him back with it. Honestly.
So
it's annoying.
The thing is, Honorable Chinedu Oga, I want to believe that the Honorable gave 500 naira for transport fare back home, that there was empowerment, that money was now transport, that money is not the empowerment. Like, that 500 naira could not have been the empowerment. That was transport fare after the empowerment program. So
hear of it.
This is me hoping that there must be something else. Maybe he invited them to a conference for empowerment, or maybe there was a training empowerment, and that 500 naira was like a transport home. But like Nima said, maybe because we're in Lagos, 500 naira feels like it cannot even transport you.
No, it can't.
Anywhere.
Can't anywhere right now.
Inflation.
Petrol is
across,
one
right?
is
I'm just trying to
make sense of it all.
because
let me help you.
Let me help you. Struggled with the idea of 500
Let me try
naira.
and help you because I'm also trying to see if there's a side to it. It's not the first one now. You know, during COVID, I talked about the people who came to Abuleado. One of my fish seller, they all made them queue. They did the photo ops and then drove off with all the
They didn't give them anything.
palliative that they brought. Yes, they didn't give them nothing. They made them queue the entire stretch of Abuleado towards Straight Fair. Take the pictures, drove down, drove in, made them stand. Then they arranged the palliative in a car. They cut that. They gave one person and then gave two persons and then they drove off.
So I think that the politicians, our politicians like the queue. It makes them feel
so they
important.
Come, they take pictures, they take videos.
And when you post pictures and there's a massive crowd waiting on you, it makes it look like you have influence. So sometimes that money is a bait so that you can gather people together and have that picture.
So if you come from that
of
place
exploitation,
of your ego, you want to feel, you know, that you've done something. You need to see that you have done something. You will fall in under that, and I want to believe maybe he's a first-time lawmaker because his seniors at the bar, they would have used their constituency project for this kind of things. They do better, you know. But he has very arable land. Imagine an agriculture grant that empowers them to farm. Make a boy,
or give them seedlings.
Position a boy, yes,
give them seedlings.
See, I don't like to talk about it too, but you see that governor in Kogi, he did seedlings. He gave people seedlings for those who were farming. He gave somebody that I know, poultry farmer, not only feed, birds. And I saw that she couldn't even handle it by herself. She had to go and share the remaining of these chicks for her friends too to farm.
Oh.
Then they gave them food. It was for zero.
That's
credit.
empowerment.
Yes, that's
So
the
when
kind
they
of
want to
empowerment
sell, the
people
state will still empower them to, you know, to be able to sell for value.
Give me
by
sweet
taking
corn
it up.
seedling or 500.
Imagine that.
And then I will plant it, I will sell,
Imagine
I'll make
that.
more money.
So I don't think that, you know, he's done his critical thinking around this empowerment thing. You know, think can well.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. When we return, maybe we would advise.
We will compare him till the end of the show.
No, we would advise.
He's reminding me of all
Stay
this
with us, we'll be right
I'm
back.
telling you.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.